Hello, hello, hello. My name is Melissa Blumel, and I am going to tell you why I quit LuLaRoe as a top salesperson, cruise qualified retailer for Piphany. Just a little bit of background. I come from direct sales. I've been doing direct sales most of my life. Prior to LuLaRoe, I was a senior Cadillac sales director with a well-known skincare and color cosmetics company. And I got into LuLaRoe, or I became aware of the LuLaRoe opportunity in the winter of 2017. So I decided to go into the queue February 2017. So as of the date of this video, it is, oh my goodness, it's almost 2 years from the date that I went into the queue. It's January 31st, 2019. And I went into the queue in February of 2017. I was in the queue for a few months and I onboarded in April. And I will be completely honest, with my onboarding package, between the inventory, the add-on product, which was the leggings, and then my supplies, which were the hangers, the racks, the photography equipment, and the like, I spent approximately $8,000 to get my LuLaRoe business started. Now, when I started my business, I did experience some success immediately. My second month, starting with my second full month in the business, or no, rather my first full month in the business, because I received my inventory mid-April. I had the rest of April, so 2 weeks that I photographed the inventory and familiarized myself with everything. So beginning in May of 2017, I have been a cruise qualifying retailer with LuLaRoe. So I cruise qualified every month. I did earn the cruise the first 6 months of my business. And as of the date of this video, my average sales in LuLaRoe are between $20,000 and $30,000 per month, with an average between, I would say a regular month for me is somewhere in between. So between $20,000 and $30,000 per month in LuLaRoe. And a lot of people are questioning my decision to leave LuLaRoe and realign myself with Piphany, but I will tell you why. Especially with numbers like that, people are questioning, why are you doing this? So let me just take you on a quick little timeline, because it was only 2 weeks ago that I decided to dissolve my LuLaRoe business and align myself with Piphany. The problem started in the summer of 2018, so just this past summer. We noticed that there was a limited product availability in mainline items, which initially it was a little bit of an inconvenience, but we thought, you know what, everything will come back in stock, it'll totally be fine. And eventually what happened was it created a problem with my ability to service my customers with the sizes and the styles that they were wanting to purchase. The other problem that we had with availability were launches. Launches created a massive amount of anxiety. If anybody is familiar with LuLaRoe, if you are a retailer or a former retailer, you can definitely understand the high level of anxiety that comes on launch day. So the problem with the launches, and I will tell you this, is usually they will only give you maybe a day. A lot of times they will announce the launch on the Tuesday morning home office webinar, and the launch will be happening Tuesday night. So for the retailers that don't have a lot of extra funds to jump in on a launch, you're now scrambling to try to get all of the information and to come up with the money for the launch. Okay, so that happens. Now, let's say you have all the information, you have the money, and the launch happens. Now you go into a queue and you may or may not be able to order any of the styles. We also had a problem with, do they put limits on it? No limits, limits. When they put no limits, a lot of the top retailers would come in, they'd snap up all the inventory, and there was leaving nothing for anybody else. And then when they did put limits on, they would put strange limits that make 0 sense. For instance, they said, we would like to make it fair. And when solid leggings launched a few months, or I want to say maybe 6 weeks ago or 2 months ago, when solid leggings launched, they said, oh, retailers who do below $25,000 per month are only allowed to order 15. Retailers who do $25,000 a month or higher can order 100 in every size. And I thought to myself, boy, if you're not stacking the deck against these smaller guys, I don't know what that is. So I was a little bit, their decision making is a little bit questionable on things like that. The second thing that became apparent this last summer were the quality issues with LuLaRoe. I noticed increased amount of damages just with the products that I was receiving, missed stitches, weird stitching, sizing issues. I had a lot of returns for ladies saying, hey, I normally buy this size. I laid this shirt on the new shirt on top of my old shirts and it's significantly smaller. The arms were a lot tighter on some of the styles. So I was receiving a lot of returns back into my business because of the damages. They also had a recall on black leggings. The black leggings were so thin, they were almost like pantyhose. If you bent over, you could see right through them. And the single pack printed leggings were also recalled for quality control. In August, Christy tees, the V-neck Christy tee became available, and I did a rather large order on the Christy tees. They had been sold out for quite some time, and there ended up being a sewing issue, and all of them got recalled. So I had to then take photos, document, package them up, and return all of the Christy tees that my VIP customers had been waiting months and months and months to get. So we have quality issues. The other thing that has been going on since I started LuLaRoe are the issues with the seasonal appropriateness of the prints and the styles. So how that works is, let's say for instance, it's May and I order a box of Carly's, the Carly dress. I would get prints and solids that were appropriate for September and October. So what would happen is at that point in time, after I spent a lot of money on something, sometimes half of my box would have to be put away for when the fall came so I could offer them. Otherwise, people would say, why do I want a pumpkin colored Carly in May? I want floral and bright spring colors and colors for the summertime, not something that looks like I should be wearing it in September or October in May. So I had a lot of product that was just not seasonally appropriate, the prints, and then also the styles. And an example of that would be Sarah sweaters, fully available all summer long, and then as soon as September hit, they were not available. Or jackets, denim jackets coming out in the middle of July. Don't you think that a great time to launch a denim jacket would be in the fall or in the spring? So we had a hard time with that because you're trying to show a jacket to your customers, and in some parts of the country it's 120 degrees. So that is what I mean by seasonally appropriate prints and styles. The timing of the launches also were a big concern for us. There's not enough time before the holiday or before the thing that the launch was for. We noticed this in November of 2017. The Elegant collection launched right before Thanksgiving. Now, the appropriate time to launch a holiday collection would be maybe the end of October or beginning of November, so people could shop and they could get their holiday outfits ready. And then when the holidays hit, which are Thanksgiving and then Christmas and New Year's, they would be all set. Instead, the retailers were left scrambling, trying to figure out, how am I going to move all this inventory that is just basically late, 3 weeks late. So those were all huge concerns. Now, those are minor though in comparison to the number one thing that really was a huge pain point for me in my LuLaRoe business. And that is, if you can look behind me, the massive amount of inventory that I have been hanging on to and that I've accumulated over the last 2 years in LuLaRoe. So the massive amount of inventory, when I joined LuLaRoe, I will tell you, I was encouraged by my upline as well as corporate, because I did go to the corporate offices several times for trainings. I was able to pull my own order. I was able to do a lot of these things, and they encouraged you to keep ordering and ordering and ordering, to go deep. The more inventory you have, the more you will sell. And in hindsight, I realized that I was encouraged to order more because a lot of the prints and styles were so either inappropriate, they were considered undesirable, or C and D prints instead of it being amazing and beautiful. So I have all of this inventory that's virtually unsellable because they're undesirable prints. Now the company has admitted and acknowledged that they were turning out C and D prints in massive quantities to keep up with the demand. And I know this firsthand. I went to convention this last summer and was approached by the lead artist of LuLaRoe. And the lead artist struck up a conversation with a few of my friends and I and said, do you have any questions? And we said, why the Dorito prints? Why prints that you know are not highly desirable? Why are you manufacturing prints that a lot of people just do not like that, and then you're selling them to us and we have to figure out what to do with these? And he said, we simply could not keep up with the demand. So instead of taking our time with the art, sometimes we would layer art on top of art to make a complete art, and we would just manufacture it. And a lot of times that meant Dorito prints. That meant prints that looked like poop emojis. That, the little triangle type prints that look like poop emojis. I can't tell you how much of that I had in my inventory. Things with people's faces on the holiday leggings, not this last year, but the year before. People's faces on leggings, faces of the designers and faces of the owners of the company. I don't know about you, but unless I had a boyfriend or a brother, or it was a white elephant gift or a gag gift, I wouldn't want to purchase something like that. And I didn't expect my customers to either. Okay, so their excuse was that the C and D prints were just it was a product of doing business, of growing too quickly, massively too quickly. The demand was up, and they put out what they knew were subpar prints that nobody would want, just to keep up with the demand. So I had that left me with a really kind of a bad feeling, coming straight from the head artist. This is my business, and this is what feeds my family and keeps a roof over their head, and I'm hearing that they don't care, that they're just putting out product that they know is not top quality, is not beautiful, and is undesirable, just so they can basically take care of their bottom line. Okay. I will tell you though, a lot of things were positive that came out of my LuLaRoe business. I don't want to turn it into a bash fest, but I will tell you, I'll touch on some things that I love about my LuLaRoe business. The first thing is the community of wonderful, wonderful women, just wonderful women that I have been able to meet and now be friends with, and we've all come together because of LuLaRoe. LuLaRoe has also taught me how to a lot about social media and how to socially sell and how to be in a community and how to put myself out there, and I'm forever grateful for that. And LuLaRoe did provide for my family over the last 2 years. It is what paid all of our bills and kept food on our table and all of that. So for that, I am forever grateful. I will tell you though that with the increased amount of lawsuits, the lack of inventory, so there is a break in the supply chain, and combining that with lawsuits and the things that I've heard state publicly regarding the lawsuits, my husband and I have questioned LuLaRoe's solvency at this point, and we are really not comfortable with the way that they are doing business, and we've chosen to align ourselves with a company that's a little more in line with our morals and our beliefs. So that company, you guys, is Piphany, and I'm happy to announce that 2 weeks ago I became a Piphany stylist. And when I was researching Piphany, I did look to a few of the retailers that were in the same situation I was in LuLaRoe. Massive amounts of unsellable inventory, massive amounts of just anxiety, sleepless nights. You guys, there were days that I would come to the studio. I have a separate office space that I rented to house my inventory. And there were days that I would come in and only manage inventory. I was completely exhausted and had nothing left to give to my family. Okay. So when Piphany came along, Piphany solved a lot of pain points for me. First, I believe that they are transparent. I have had the pleasure of having a conference call with the CEO of Piphany. He was completely transparent. He answered all of the questions. He addressed every single issue, every single question, and it was amazing. They have a lot of communication. In the 2 weeks that I've been involved in the company, I received communication about the computer program, about the app that's coming out. They're open with their lines of communication, and for me, communication is key. I do not want to be left in the dark, and I so far am very pleased with the level of communication and information that they give to the stylists. As of right now, on Saturday I went to a training, and it was my understanding that there are only 1,400 Piphany stylists nationwide, which really does make this opportunity a ground level opportunity. And I am really excited about that. The other thing that I'm super excited about, you guys, is with LuLaRoe, my VIPs would get so excited when new products would launch, when, brand new styles, brand new things would come out. And that really was the heart of my business, which is why I had so much anxiety during launch day, because if I couldn't bring the new to my people, I was pretty much dead in the water. Now with Piphany, they have 8 to 10 brand new styles that launch. It's a limited launch every single month. So 8 to 10 brand new styles, there's always something new. And with these styles, you guys, they provide training videos on all of the styles, so you know how does this style look and fit on a petite person, on an average size person, and on a plus size person. So they very, very knowledgeable, a lot of information. They give you all the details. All of the pieces that they launch, you guys, are seasonally appropriate. Seasonally appropriate, on-trend pieces with a multitude of prints to choose from. So for instance, the old way of business is if I got this shirt in my box and I got one of them, I would make one person happy, right? With a launch with Piphany, if I have 10 people who want this exact shirt, maybe they need different sizes, maybe they all need one size, chances are I will be able to make 10 people happy instead of just that one person. So this makes me really happy. It allows me to service my customers with beautiful, comfortable fashion that they are in love with, and then they don't have to join a million other groups to try to get the thing, their unicorn, when if they see something and they like it, I can provide that for them. So I'm very excited about that. The other thing that is huge for me is there is no inventory. There's no reserving multiple rooms in your home. There's no photographing the inventory. There's no loading it into albums. There's no, 2-3 rooms, or in my case, a separate office that I had to rent to house my inventory. So they encourage you to not carry inventory, which is amazing. Instead, they have a sample program. And the sample program works like this, you guys. The sample program, you get to order a sample of the style that's being launched. You receive it before the launch so you can check it out. You can do a styling video. You can inform your customers. And then when that piece launches, you basically take orders for it. So you can make all the people happy without having a massive inventory to have to manage. So that's very exciting. They do have a competitive commission structure, which is amazing. The company handles all shipping and returns. You guys, there are days and days and days that all I do with the LuLaRoe business is package things up and ship it out. There have been full weekends where all my husband and I did was package and ship, package and ship. The kids are like, what's for dinner? We say, let's order a pizza. We need a package and we need to ship. And you guys, that really hurt my heart, because the whole reason I got involved in direct sales. And the whole reason that I started my own business and wanted to be an entrepreneur was to spend more time with my family. And I was just not, that was not happening. I was too busy packaging and shipping. And when I wasn't packaging and shipping, I had to be live presenting more product, or I wouldn't be able to support my family. Okay, so Piphany handles all shipping and all returns. They have that wonderful sample program. I have more time with my family, more time with my community, but the big deal about it is, you guys, as if there weren't a lot of other big deals, the way that they do their sizing for all sizes, and they take into account the scaling of the fit of the clothing. Just because somebody is plus size doesn't mean they're 7 feet tall. Okay, some of you might understand what that means. Others of you may not, but let me just give you an overview. In LuLaRoe, sometimes what they do is they take a size and they perfect it. And then when you go up in the sizes, they just make it bigger without paying attention to where does the waistline fall. Especially for a plus size gal, you just can't make it bigger. The measurements and things have to fall right, so it looks just as beautiful on somebody wearing, if it looks beautiful on somebody wearing a small or a medium, it looks just as beautiful on somebody wearing a 2 or a 3X. And it has to be that way. With LuLaRoe, a lot of pieces, for instance, the Maria dress, my husband took one look at the Maria dress and said, these girls are a little more curvy. They're not 7 feet tall. That dress was cut, and the bigger the size, the longer the dress. And there were some Maria dresses that you had to be 6'5" or 6'7" to wear the dress without having it altered. So I'm really excited, you guys. It's comfortable, it's beautiful fashion, it's more variety. I'm able to service my customers in a better way. I'm able to show up for my family in a better way, and I'm able to show up for my community in a better way. So if you are a part of my community, I'm really excited about this new adventure that we're on. These are my reasons for leaving LuLaRoe as a cruise qualifying top seller in the company, and why I decided to join Piphany and realign myself with Piphany, because it's more in line with my core values. So if you loved this video, leave a comment below. I will be posting more styling videos and sneak peeks, and also documenting my journey in Piphany, so you guys can follow along with me if you like. And hope to see more of you girls. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.